All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mond Gutierrez, a proud AIA family member, entrepreneur, and of course, a fitness enthusiast. And joining me today, co hosting with me, my brother in the AIA family, Wil Dasovich. Hey, Will.
Hey, how's it going, man? Great to be here. This is going to be a different, exciting talk today. And for those who don't know, I
Yes.
am also a member here of AIA, and I'm a content creator and also a part-time gamer. And this is something I've actually never spoken about in any sort of type of form or event or anything. So yeah, let's jump into this.
Well, I'm glad you're here with me because today we will be talking about the fascinating world of gaming and esports. And frankly, I don't know much about it, but I did do some research. So let me spell out some facts. Around the world, there are around 3 billion gamers just this past year, Will. Did you know that?
Wow, no, I had no idea. That's a lot. That's a lot of
That's way
people.
too many people. Yeah, and of course, they're no longer the minority. Gaming and esports is bigger than ever. And of course, part of this was fueled by the pandemic, COVID-19. A lot of people were forced to stay home. A lot of people picked it up as their new hobby. And it's not just a hobby nowadays, it's also a form of socializing. I think people can talk to each other on these gaming platforms. You bring out your competitive side. And of course, a lot of people also do it professionally, like some of the people who will be joining us today. So today we're going to remove all the myths, all the negative talk about gaming, and hopefully our two guests can help us answer all of those questions. We'll be joined with two prolific gamers in the scene, of course, Alodia Gosiengfiao from the Philippines, also known as Senpai Alodia of the Philippines, who is a cosplayer, a popular gaming content creator, and of course, somebody close to Will and my friend. And of course, we also have Matthew Wong Stewart from Singapore, who you may recognize from his esports commentary, and who is also currently community and channel lead at game publisher Riot Games. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Now, to the viewers out there who don't know much about gaming, can you just tell us a little bit about what you both do?
Yeah, I'm a full-time gamer and I've been doing this since forever. I'm just kidding. But people probably know me because of my cosplay, but what actually pushed me to do cosplay was gaming. So
Mhm.
eventually down the road, I was able to find a team and create like a group, a company who is able to support fellow gamers as well to make this a full-time career.
That's awesome. Imagine like something you love and then creating a career out of it. That's like the dream, right? What about you, Matthew?
Well, I'm definitely not as well known as Alodia. Even Marvel actresses know who Alodia is. But I did esports commentary for about 8 years. I commentated on various League of Legends esports leagues, such as the Oceanic Pro League, the League of Legends Pro League, as well as the Garena Pro League. And I've since stepped back from esports commentary, joined Riot Games as a full-time community and channel lead for Southeast Asia. So I work with a small regional team across Southeast Asia that works with our various communities, influencers, as well as manages all the different social media channels for Riot in Southeast Asia.
Matthew, I just have a question for you. I mentioned earlier that there's 3 billion gamers around the world. Being the publishing lead, how, that number rise also like in Asia? Was there also a surge of gamers in Asia? Did you see that? Did you feel that?
I have seen year on year the amount of people playing video games in general has grown, and it has been an upward trajectory for the last 8 years. The pandemic, as unfortunate as has been, it has also increased the number of people playing these games. And while I would do everything I could to prevent the pandemic if it was absolutely possible, it's not the situation anybody wants to be in. Video games have given people different ways to socialize and to connect during a very difficult time. And we have seen more people pick up games so that they can do more normal like things with their friends, like talking over while playing a game or connecting with new people during the pandemic.
I want to understand that. Do you think all these stereotypes of gaming have evolved and changed, or are there still a lot of people that believe in all these old stereotypes about gamers?
I think it is evolving, but the stereotype still does exist. I mean, my parents were both athletes, so growing up, I was in that household environment of you have to go and play sport, go outside, kick a ball, go for a swim, go for a run, and that was it. Video games was a complete taboo, and they were very much of the mindset of if you're playing games, you're wasting your time, you're gonna get lazy, you're gonna be a couch potato. Even though I've made a career out of playing and commentating and now working for a video game company, my mom still thinks that. She's very proud of all the things that I've done, but she's still very much so, oh, you shouldn't be playing too many video games because you're going to get lazy. But we are seeing a larger shift around the world towards the stereotypes that are attributed with video games. Nike made a really good push for this when they started making video game athletes in China their ambassadors, such as Uzi from a few LPL teams. And we're starting to see more and more gamers and more influencers within the gaming scene show that, playing video games and enjoying video games as your hobby doesn't mean that you're lazy. It doesn't mean that you're a couch potato. It's simply what you enjoy doing in your free time. And there are other things that you can do when you're not playing video games, like keeping up with a healthy lifestyle, like exercising or making sure that you're staying fit and active. And at the same time, video games do have their own medical benefits as well. It helps with your cognitive ability. It helps with development of speech. It helps with development of social skills as well. And we've seen lots of studies coming out supporting these facts. I think the right thing that people need to take away is that anything can be unhealthy when it's done in excess. The same thing here with video games. And addiction is a real thing. But what we need to really separate is that people who play video games aren't all lazy. They aren't all couch potatoes. And the people that are feeling negative effects from playing video games, they have an addiction. They need help.
That's awesome. Well, if everybody looked like Alodia as a couch potato, then wouldn't you want to be a gamer too? I mean, hello. Alodia, I want to ask you, you mentioned, the hard work and the dedication that some of these esports and gamers put in. I want to ask about your routine. How much time do you spend gaming roughly?
It's really all about balance. I really have this routine, like I wake up, I exercise. That's the first thing I do every single day. Then I answer emails as well. Then after all of that, all the meetings, that's when I game.
And you mentioned you do exercise every day in the morning. I wanted to ask, how do you balance that? What type of exercises do you do? And do you balance indoor exercise and outdoor exercise? Do you get some sunlight, or are you like indoors the whole day?
I'm mostly indoors because I like multitasking. So I do a lot of cardio on the treadmill, and while I'm on the treadmill, that's where I answer everyone, messages, emails.
So Matt, I mean, for you, how much time do you find yourself gaming for fun, and then also because you need to when it's for work?
A lot less than I would like at the moment. When when I was playing on a few League of Legends teams and while I was commentating, I was probably gaming between 6 to 8 hours a day, and it was quite a lot. I would say now I'd be really happy to get an hour in a day.
As part of living a healthy lifestyle, I think sleep is very, very important. So how important is sleep to you guys? And if you have a good night's sleep or a bad night's sleep, how does that affect your gaming?
What really just stuck for me is that I just separate my gaming area. I don't bring it to the bedroom so that I don't game until I fall asleep, which was what I used to do. I like fall asleep on my laptop, so that's bad. But anyhow, since gaming is now work for me, I set it up in an office, and I try to stop by 12 midnight and leave it. So now I just like really prioritize sleep because it makes you more focused and alert the next day if you really need it for a tournament or like a business meeting and stuff like that. So sleep.
Sleep is incredibly important. Not just for gamers that are playing at the highest of levels. Like esports athletes, they do their best to try and get their 8 to 9 hours a night. And you see some of the biggest teams in the world, they actually set schedules where their players need to be asleep because they have early mornings the next day, and they try to bring in sports psychologists even to talk to them about the importance of sleep. And this is the same for everyone. You don't have to be a professional athlete to get the benefits of sleeping better. Even for myself, when I started to try and stay to a more strict sleeping schedule, especially when I was going for important competitions during shoutcasting. I saw a noticeable improvement in my active listening and in my concentration when I was going on to a broadcast.
In terms of the social aspects, this is something I want to touch up on because you mentioned it previously, Matt, that gaming is a way to, talk to other people. And personally for me, this was a way that I really got to, have these interactions with friends, old friends and new friends, playing with Alodia and meeting people in different countries all over the world, from Japan to the US. And this is something I want to know. How has this helped you, Matt, and Alodia, I guess, in terms of the social aspect of it all?
A lot of my lifelong friends have been friends that I've met playing video games, and then subsequently met them in real life and become friends with them. And I think the pandemic has affected everyone differently. And I was quite lucky that my core group of friends are people that I do talk to on applications like Discord every night. So we have a social Discord where we will jump in and just chat, even if we're not playing the same game. But what I did see is more and more of my friends who didn't necessarily play video games as much, or weren't playing games on a regular basis, started to use video games as a way to connect and socialize, when previously they might go out for a run or go out to a restaurant to meet their friends. Now they're trying to jump into an Among Us server with a bunch of their friends that have been playing video games for the longest time. And that really helped me continually stay in touch with the people that I otherwise would not have seen during the pandemic. So it definitely helped me there.
I really grew up as an introvert. I mean, I grew up in an all-girls school, and it was so hard to find girls who also play video games, who do cosplay and all these geeky stuff. So I just keep to myself. So gaming online, even during the dial-up days, was such a huge help. So I was able to find fellow gamers. I even had to hide who I was. My in-game name was Black Mage. They didn't even know if I was a girl or a boy. So I just play for fun. And it was really cool to find people who share the same passion. At least you feel you're not alone. So I guess that transcended, especially now that we're all online. We make Facebook communities, we have groups and stuff, and it actually helped during this pandemic because we've been doing we've been doing it for a long time, but people are now using it as a way to still connect with their friends, especially that we can't go out. So yeah, gaming has helped a lot.
Personally, for me, I found through gaming that it has helped me relieve type of certain anxieties, I guess, through escapism. And this is something I want to get into because, of course, during times of the pandemic, it was high stress, it was high anxiety. So, Matt, for you, do you use gaming, I guess, to escape these type of real world anxieties? And if so, how has that helped you? And please detail if you can.
Gaming has definitely been an escape for me for a very long time. I've suffered from depression my entire life. I was diagnosed when I was 15 years old, and video games became that outlet for me. And it was an outlet for me subconsciously before I was diagnosed with depression. Then it became an active decision for me to take after I was diagnosed. So before I was diagnosed, I was running away from all of my problems, basically, and saying, I don't want to deal with this today. I'm going to go play video games. Video games was great in a couple of ways where I was able to escape. I was able to disassociate with whatever was giving me problems that day. I was able to connect with like-minded people who have become lifelong friends and people who I've shared my troubles with and have supported me through very dark times. But before I was diagnosed, I was also using it as purely an escape. And then I developed that very unhealthy relationship with video games. One of the people I always looked up to is a guy named Jake Spawn-Tiberi. He was one of my managers when I was commentating on the Oceanic Pro League. He's a fantastic commentator himself. And he started to notice while I was there that I was not playing video games anymore. And he thought that something was seriously wrong because that's what I used to do to escape. And he was the one that actually worked with me to make sure that I had that healthy relationship with gaming as well. Because while I was using it for an escape, it's something that I purely saw as an escape at the time. I was losing the ability to have fun playing video games from time to time while I was depressed. And working with him, a great team, going to therapy allowed me to understand how I could use video games as something that I enjoy and as my hobby and as that escape to make sure that I have a safe place whenever I need it, but not overuse it to the extent that I'm relying on it as a crutch. That is what I fall back onto every time, start to become numb doing it over and over again. So I'm really happy that I was able to find not only a supportive community within video games, but video games in general that have helped me so much throughout the early stages of my life.
Actually, Matt said it very perfectly. For me, well, just I've mentioned this earlier that I'm a huge introvert, and because of that, I was being bullied back in grade school. So I sought to video games as a form of like escaping reality, and that's where I found other people who also like probably had the similar story, and that's how we bonded. And now, fast forward that I just want to take care of people or make a safe place for people like me, like not being judged for what we love and just enjoying each other's company. And we do this through our love for video games. And luckily, the industry has grown, and now we can do it full time. We can support our families doing gaming. And this is what I want to teach the next generation. And hopefully, we leave like a legacy that people like us, the geeks, are still accepted in the community.
Matthew and Alodia, I think we learned a lot today, and we debunked a lot of myths about gaming. You are not couch potatoes. You guys are like awesome people. So, and of course, like what you said, Matt, anything that you do excessively can't be good for you. So you make sure to set those boundaries and make sure to keep those small habits like getting proper sleep, staying healthy, to make sure that your overall wellness isn't affected by something that you enjoy.
Well said, Mon. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all the same. It all comes back to balance for sports, for esports, for your diet, for everything we do all together.
Thank you guys for supporting the gaming community. I never expected to get this far. I mean, for everyone as gamers. So hopefully we make this better as a community. So having a healthy lifestyle, um, guiding people to do this, to take this path wisely, I guess. Yeah.
I do want to start by thanking my wife. She's been the biggest supporter that I've had in not only my career, but also making sure that I understand what a healthy relationship with video games like. And since she's helped guide me through understanding this even better, I now love video games more than I ever loved video games before. And I actually play video games because I enjoy it much more now. But I'm also really thankful for the mentors that I've had throughout my career that have guided me along the way, and all the friends that I've made in the gaming industry. You guys are all awesome. Thank you to everyone that supported me as well. And thank you guys so much for having me on the panel today. It's been so much fun.
All right. Thank you so much, Will. I'm so honored to share this panel with you. Thank you also, and happy birthday. And Alodia,
thank you.
Thank you guys so much. This has been
Thank
Will
you.
and Mond as part of the AIA family signing off, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.